Hey everybody, we're looking into, like I promised, number 2 today on the same day. But I'm sorry, but editing took like a bit of time, so didn't get it as quick as I wanted to.
Ms. Mars, and before we start, I just want to let you know that this is a continuation from this video about how I got friend-zoned. Please watch that story first so that you're all caught up for this next saga. Now, without further ado,
Maz, I'm breaking up with you.
James. James, no! No!
How do you feel?
Just a dream. Just a dream. Just a dream.
What's wrong? You okay, babe?
Alright, so here's a quick recap. Cherry, this beautiful brown queen, asked me, the loser friend-zoned Maz, to watch a movie with her. Alone. Now, I don't know what kind of Dwayne Johnson that I was living under, but at the time, I thought that she was trying to, you know, make the moves or, secretly confess to a hunk like me, and no, she wasn't. No, wait, she wasn't. Daddy. It's crazy because there I was, you know, trying to decipher her words like it was some ancient hieroglyphics. Well, she was actually just like,
wow, I can't wait to see Twilight New Moon with my best buddy, old pal Maz.
Twilight. She wanted to watch frickin' Twilight, and I thought it was a genuine show of her love for me. And don't get your hopes up about what happened. There's no spice, there's no baseball, there's no tea, sis. Oh, brother, this guy stinks! After this, everything was more or less the same level of one-sided crush until we reached grade 10. In a previous video, I mentioned that nothing happened during visual arts. And, well, that's not exactly true, because I actually shared my art class with her. And it was around this time that my feelings for Cherry peaked. So I was like trying to spend as much time with her as possible. During classes, at lunch, before school, following her home, watching her sleep, you know, the usual stuff. Come on, dude! And finally, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. After 3 years of middle school, Cherry was finally ready to get in a relationship. And in my head, since she'd been with the other boys, who else was left other than the Brown Prince? I mean, what could go wrong?
I've had a lot of good times with all of you guys, and it's been really difficult for me to decide who to give this to, but I think I've made up my mind. I want to give this final rose to...
Oh, no, Cherry, it's okay. I'd like to gracefully accept the final rose and...
J-Dog.
All right.
Okay.
I thought it was my turn. I mean, look, she did go from one good-looking white dude to another muscular good-looking white dude, sure. But like, why mess with vanilla when you've got chocolate right here? Isn't that right? Kill yourself. Okay, now the biggest difference between this relationship with J-Dog and the others was that she was falling hard. So much so that she began to alienate all of her other friends in order to spend as much time with him. And boy, did young Maz not take that well. And I legitimately confronted her about this, which led to our little fight. I couldn't believe that she was not only ditching all of her friends behind, but also spending all of her time with him, thinking about him in class, drawing little cutesy love notes and stuff. Like, come on, Cherry. Only I can do that. It's against the law. But she wasn't having any of it. Cherry said that she could spend her time however she wanted. And if she wanted to hang out with J-Dog and not me, then that's that. And oh man, I was so not okay with that. Gosh, I actually remember how, because I was like so freaking annoyed by her doing this, that whenever I passed by her at lunch, I used to sing the song Somebody That I Used to Know by God. You didn't have to call me. Like, I didn't sing it out loud. I didn't just belt it out. I just kind of whispered it. I can't believe I did that. That's like the next level beta, bro. I was next level beta. Like, we have an alpha male, we have a beta male, and then you have an omega male. Okay, that was me. And guys, this thing went on for 6 months. I was whispering this song for 6 months. Wait, what was he saying? Wait, who was that?
I don't know, probably some loser.
Oh my God. Why? Oh, all right. Okay, let me be serious for a sec. As much as I'm memeing about how desperate and how much of an omega male I was, I think it's important to recognize that most of us in this situation aren't inherently bad people. I'm sure that those in Cherry's position who have affection thrown at them don't just shut them down like, I will string you along to suck away your emotions. No, of course not. They just want everything to kind of stay the same, you know? And similarly, majority of people in my shoes don't actually despise them for friend zoning. We're just a little lonely, you know? So at the end of the day, I always had Cherry's back, even if we weren't on the best of terms at that specific moment. So when Cherry and J-Dog broke up in a horrible way, I knew that she was genuinely heartbroken. And when I saw that, all of my middle school anger, the stupid logic, and the petty feelings disappeared. I had to help my friend. I tried to cheer her up as much as possible. And eventually, as time tends to do, she got better. We started talking more and more, and sure enough, we built up our friendship again. And you know what I noticed? That I was completely and utterly okay with being friends. The friend zone that I had created for myself was finally over because, well, this may actually sound real sad, but I'd finally accepted that a relationship between us just wasn't going to happen. Wow, that really was kind of sad to say. I'm really not helping out my omega male image, am I? But I'd also be lying if I said that I wasn't at least a little bit curious about what happened. I mean, look at me. How could she not fall for this? And with me finally being at peace, I had this weird level of confidence, so I kind of just low-key asked her about why she dated the guys in our squad specifically.
Oh, that's easy. It's because I'm really into white dudes.
Oh. But I'm literally as white as you can be. It all made sense now. I was being duped all along. I had somehow deluded myself into thinking that she was going in turns within the squad, dating the boys, when it was actually just her dating good-looking white men. Excuse me for a moment. Michael Jackson, please teach me your ways. You know what? I'm actually sort of glad that I'm feeling like this. Okay, sure, I was devastated when Cherry said that she was into white boys, but I think I'd already moved on by then. She didn't owe me anything, and I definitely should have been a good friend to her without the ulterior motive to date her. It's actually crazy because I called her up after 5 years to ask for permission to make the story. But during the call, I said something along the lines of, hey, you know how I really liked you during middle school?
Wait, you were into me in middle school?
What? So apparently, I somehow hid my feelings for Cherry so well that she didn't even know that I was into her. What? Please. Please kill me. Alright, but seriously, I am so freaking glad that nothing happened back then, because whilst my hormones were chanting, slay her, my logical side was be gone, thought. I also had no follow-up plan after my confession. Okay, if during the movie night she would have turned, wrapped her arms around me, looked me dead in the eyes and said,
oh my gosh, I can't take it anymore. I love you.
I would have been
Wait, what?
Oh, wow, what is that? Silence, mortal. The enormous eggplant energy courses through me. I have now leveled up to beta male. No, of course not. That's not how it would have happened. I would have been okay. You want to play Minecraft? I would have been a terrible boyfriend. Cherry, you totally dodged a bullet there. And to think that I actually cared so much about this. Nowadays, it's just a good memory, and we were both able to have a good laugh about it over the phone. I wish I could go back in time just to meet middle school Maz and be hey, stop being such a terrible human being and just confess, you freaking idiot. And respect women! Please do not assault children. Frick! Seriously though, if you are in a similar situation to me in school, first and foremost, try to think of it from the other person's point of view. And secondly, I think confession is just so much easier to deal with. If you confess and they accept your feelings, then great. And if they don't, then you can just move on, focus on other things, and save a bunch of time. Unlike me, who spent 3 years moping around trying to bleach my skin. Make the most of everything, Martians. life is way too short to be hung up on whether your crush will like you back or not. I hope that you guys can glean something from my own experiences and develop the courage to confess. It'll be hard, yeah, but it should be worth it.
No.
Good luck.
Goodbye.
Cherry is genuinely one of the sweetest people I've ever met, and even after everything that happened, I still remember her incredibly fondly. And I'm gonna send this video to her. So hey Cherry, love you.
And remember, if I get 2 subscribers,
Remember to
as
like,
I've said,
subscribe,
I'm
hit
never
the
gonna
notification
make
bell,
it
and comment
probably
this for a shout out in
again
the video
in
chat.
these
Thanks to all of my
2
channel members and
videos.
patrons for supporting me. I
I
appreciate
do
you, and I want to
appreciate
remind you guys that I've got merch over at